It is Monday. I have my Monday Post-it out. Yes, so
Do
it
you
is
really?
Monday. I really do. Yeah, it's right. Yes, I really do.
Oh my gosh.
I really do. I really
She
do.
really does, folks.
Right.
Oh my gosh. Good morning, everyone. It is April 25th, 2022,
Oh,
and
geez.
we are the Ragin 2, the vlogs.
Oh,
Which I didn't type in today's show notes because that's a lot to type.
right. Well, hey.
Yeah, I'm doing my thing.
Yeah, it's Monday.
It's Monday. Here's our intro.
There you go.
Hello, comic book readers and collectors. My name is Randy Zimmerman, and I'm here to introduce you to the Fellowship of the Indies. The Fellowship is a group of creators that came together for a promising business deal that fell through. But don't worry, because what came from the deal were 9 spectacular comics from diverse genres and creators. All 9 books are printed and ready to go, along with metal bookmarks, retailer levels, and even month 2 books, which are being specially made for a short period. Just know that by pledging, you'll be getting 9 great comics, 32 pages of book, for the awesome price of $25 plus shipping. That's over 250 pages of incredible indie comics. So secure your copies today.
Okay, that's weird.
Ooh.
Okay, well, I guess I'm just pulling this fucking card because that bump did not want to play.
Oh, no. What bump was it?
I was going to play Catch the Craze for Sammy.
Oh, and it didn't play? Oh, okay. So we're kind of glitching out here.
We'll
so
get them in the middle.
Yeah, that's true. We'll get them later. Oh, boy. Welcome, everybody. And yes, here it is.
Monday.
Here is my Monday Post-it to remind me of what day it is, because you know what? Screw it. Time means nothing. So welcome, everybody. Welcome, people watching. Welcome, everybody in the chat. Who's in the chat today?
So far we got Marvy, Michaela Jade, and Jody McPhee.
Oh, good morning. Good morning. So yeah, we're all starting our Monday slow.
Everybody's at Brian's place. They'll be here in a little bit.
That's true. So welcome, everyone. Hello, my name is Daphne Lage, and I am a cartoonist, illustrator, and comic book artist from New York. I've been self-publishing comics since 1992, and I am known for the funny animal fantasy Tall Tales, which I am currently setting up for the next Kickstarter for Volume 4. And I'm also known for my medieval fantasy soap opera, Eagle Raven, Heir of the First Unicorn, which I just sent the books finally to the printer. So they're all on their way. But in the meantime, you can read both my comics online at Tall Tales, TAILS online.com, and eagleworks.com, EGOWRKS. And you can check out all my videos on how I make my comics on YouTube at Daphne Lage Art, Lage Art. And yes, and if you are joining us from regions beyond, if you're joining us from Facebook, from Twitter, anywhere where you might see this link that's not on YouTube, come on over to YouTube. Join our sexy people in the chat. Click that subscribe button and that notification bell so that you get notified every time we go live on both my channel and the Ragin 2 channel. Yeah, it's like, look, it's more fun over here. It's like, it's like, it's more fun. It's easier to comment, the whole thing. You want to be on YouTube. So come on over on YouTube. So Nita, tell the peoples who you are.
I am Nita Lanning. I'm a writer, vlogger, blogger from Southeast Louisiana. I am CEO and executive producer of Ragin 2 Broadcast Network, and I am promoting this right now.
Oh, okay. There we go. So she is, so if you hear any frantic typing, that's her going sending off messages to the chronically online.
We are here, folks.
Yeah, we are here. We are live.
We do
Monday.
not cease. We do not desist.
No, that's true. That absolutely not. Never give up. Never surrender. Oh my goodness.
Woo!
So yeah, well, we had like a wild couple of hours. Right? So what's in it? So do we have any housekeeping for today? What do we got for housekeeping?
Let's see. Tomorrow on Dispatches from Outside the Box, you can join C. Michael and the guys. They are going to be talking about comic strips. I put up the wrong card, so I went and took it off. Everybody's like, "Oh, the role playing." No, tomorrow's comic strips. Next week is role playing. Then Wednesday we have Christy Shin joining Zimcast, so she'll be over there with Randy and Stone.
That should be fun.
So let's see, we got your art stream. Nerd Bacon 9 a.m. Thursday, and on Friday we do this again.
Right? Yeah, exactly. Ending the week just as we started.
And then of course on Saturdays, Marv V and Mike Jimmy with Sketchy Saturdays.
Yeah, so. I had a lot of fun. I did that on Saturday. I joined them on Saturday. It was a lot of fun. It was a very lively 2 hours. So if you missed that, you could check it out on the replay as well. And also, really quick, if I don't remember if we mentioned it, but I've decided that House of Bob, the night stream, is going to be the last Saturday of every month. So whatever that last Saturday is, that's when House of Bob, we're going to stream House of Bob. So
which makes this month so long.
Right, it does, yes. But it gives me more time to do things. So that means that we already did House of Bob for the month. So the last Saturday in May is going to be the next episode. So join us there. So there we go. Oh my goodness. So yeah. So I guess, okay. So we have a clear path today. We thought we had a guest scheduled, but that's next. That's what? Next Monday. Week. That's next Monday. So who are we having next Monday?
Miss Rena.
Oh, and she has
Black Rhapsody Part 1.
Right. So she's running a campaign. Well, now she's in a pre-launch. Right. On Kickstarter.
Indiegogo.
Indiegogo. Okay. Yeah. So it's like, one of the crowdfunders, they're there. So Indiegogo. And if you sign up for her pre-launch page, it seems that you get some goodies by signing up. I guess like you get access to a secret tier once the campaign goes live. So so if you want to find out what that secret tier is, make sure to sign up for the Black Rhapsody?
Black Rhapsody number 1
on Indiegogo. So we will have
that link now.
Right. So we are going to interview her next week. So, but that's usually I kind of for a split second I kind of get a little concerned when like trying to come up with topics on the fly. But luckily, I could always count on the smooth brains over at a certain social media site to give me ideas for what we're talking about today.
What in the Twitterverse are you talking about, Daphne?
Well, I'm concerned. I am concerned for the youths of America. I'm very concerned about the youths.
What?
I don't know what's going on out there. Not enough people going outside, touching grass, or in my case, in New York, touching rats. Right? I'm concerned about the youths of America, Nita. It's like, it seems I'm getting more and more convinced that people are just incapable of separating reality from fantasy.
Oh, no.
And it's concerning. It's very concerning. So it was actually a bunch of things. Yeah,
I can remember being lost in fantasy and not being able to distinguish the two, but I was like 8.
Right. Right. Yeah, exactly. It's like that's you figure like around that age is when we're like really trying to we're just making those distinctions, that there are things that we see, things that we read, that as much as we want them to be real, they're not, so you go outside and you play and you get fresh air and you know that that's real, and it's like, okay, not everybody can go to Narnia. It's like that type of thing. We're just
I sure the fuck tried though, Daphne. I
not
tried.
yeah, no, absolutely. Definitely not through a lack of trying, but that's just not that's just not that's just not happening. So I was reading the feed of another creator. She's writing a novel series, a science fiction. It's kind of like a combo science fiction fantasy story. And it seems that she gets a lot of shit for not writing her stuff the right way.
What is the right way?
You see, that's the thing. I don't know. She doesn't really go into detail, but I know that it's like, she's just one of many creators that I follow who, for some reason, they have people up their ass about how to create their worlds.
Wow.
How to create their fantasy and what has to be in it, and what you can't have this, you can't have that, you can't talk about this, you can't talk about that. And I'm like going, what wait a minute. It reminds me of when I was working at a copy center about 15 years ago. And we were in kind of like a central media location, a lot of news stations, and we were surrounded by a lot of like media stations. And we had someone come in and they had a PowerPoint presentation where they were talking about the future of marketing, because I'm nosy and I'm going through and I'm reading everything in this thing that I was supposed to copy. And it was talking about the future of marketing and how in the future, this was about 15 years ago, 15, it could have been a little bit more, but that in the future, the biggest trend in marketing was going to be customization. But the thing is, though, they were talking about sneakers. They were talking about Nike. It's like allowing people to customize colors, on their shoes when they placed an order. They were talking about, big name manufacturers being able to charge a premium to put, to embroider your name on something, like on a designer, whatever. I mean, it's like this was the type of customization.
Right.
I mean, this was like before Redbubble, before, where you could really customize stuff, to your specifications. And it's like, okay, sure, that'd be great, to be able to customize clothing and whatnot. And it's like, yeah, it's the whole, like, I guess, like Redbubble thing, where no matter what you want, you can get it, But for some reason, this whole customization idea kind of bled into the media itself. And that's the problem I'm really, really having right now. And I think that, and mind you, and I think that this has a lot to do with these large companies realizing that if they tap into these rabid fan bases for their stuff, that they couldn't pay for that type of advertising. Like, this is beyond just wearing a shirt with the character on it. This is like fans, people who will advocate for you everywhere they go, whether online or whatnot. And so part of trying to endear themselves to this fan base is by interacting directly with them on social media. And all of a sudden fans started finding that they had direct access to producers, to actors, to voice actors, to anybody, to writers on their favorite shows, to people on their favorite books, to people author, like people working at Marvel or DC. That all of a sudden but not only did everybody realize they had direct access to these people, but these companies were actively encouraging them to interact directly with their talent. And it seemed benign enough until, I guess, I don't remember at what point. I think it was during the whole Stucky. You know what Stucky is?
No.
Nita?
The only Stucky I know of is a fast food place.
Right.
Or truck stop. Not a fast food place. See,
so this was around when I think the first Captain America movie came out. What was it? The first Avenger. And then it really ramped up with Winter Soldier.
Oh.
Stucky is slash fiction of Steve and Bucky.
Oh.
Now, what happens when you have a rabid fan base with direct access to creators on a certain franchise? So I remember this whole thing.
They Rule 24 them?
Look, that the rule is absolute. The rule is absolute. Rule 34 is there's porn of everything on the internet. If it exists, there's porn of it, and if it doesn't exist, it's because no one's made it yet, and they're about to. Right? But then there's another rule that says that everything is somebody's fetish, but that's a whole other thing. So Stucky. So all of a sudden, the studios and Marvel got inundated with all these fans, mostly Yoi fangirls, contacting them saying that they wanted Stucky to be canon, that they wanted Steve and Bucky fucking on camera. Who knows? I don't know what they were really asking for, but they wanted.
It's the American way.
It's the America's ass, right? So
I cracked myself up.
And the thing is, though, and that got pretty intense. That whole thing got pretty intense. But all these companies decided they were going to ignore them. It's like, no, you're not going to get fucking Stucky in our shit. Okay, fuck off. It's like, yeah, exactly. But so what happened, though, is that I think that from that point is when I started seeing the changeover, where now it's like all of these fans started realizing if they push hard enough, they could get these companies to do shit. And you see, here's the funny thing. When people talk about certain movements, especially in comics, they always think about, I don't know, a certain reptile. Right? They always think about, it's like, oh, that's where that started. It's like, people demanding that comic book companies, like cater to them or we're leaving, But you see, I saw a variation of that 10 years before, or at least it felt like 10 years. Like I said, time is meaningless right now. But I guess because, so it's like, I remember like all these, the Fujoshi way, I guess, all these Yoi fangirls going from company to company screaming about make it gay, make it gay, make it this, make it that. I want this relationship. I want that relationship. And it was became very noticeable in both Voltron fandom and, of all places, Steven Universe.
I love Steven Universe.
Where people literally, where certain relationships were established in the shows that made the fans go so berserk, voice actors were getting death threats.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so, and the thing is though, and especially on Voltron, there was an attempt to appease these people at the last minute, which made it even worse. So here's the thing. So here's the thing. So then now it's like they've established this pattern. So the studios start trying to interact with these fans. No, you have to do this. You have to do the story this way. You have to do this. Like, no, that's not the ship that I want. You have to do this. Those two characters can't be together. That's problematic. And this, that, and the other thing. But I guess because it's all women doing it, they don't get a gate suffix, you know. But you know, hey, you know, we're not getting into that. So then companies started trying to cater to them and changing things. And I think that opened up the path to people who consume media thinking that because they have access to you, they can dictate what they want from you like you're a fucking McDonald's. You know, and I mean, this is where I originally started. And then it's like and then we had the whole other thing, you know, which honestly I think was just the flip of the same coin. You know, where people trying to demand things from a company. You know, it's like, oh, your media should reflect what I want to see, you know, or this, that, and the other thing, or whatnot. So it gets to a point, though, that companies are so big, they can afford to just ignore people. Although, honestly, they did push a lot of their creative teams under the bus to deal with these rabid fans directly without any protection from the main company. But crank it a little bit further, you know, a little bit more forward. So what I've been noticing is that now it's like that they know that, oh, did I freeze? No, that's just my laptop. Big companies are not going to really pay attention to them. Actually, you know, companies can't afford to just ignore them. So they started moving on to smaller creators who definitely do not have large companies protecting them or whatnot. And it's gotten to a point where it's like, if you're just one little furry artist trying to write a sci-fi fantasy book, you know, according to your specifications, you know, according to what she wants to write. You know, I mean, it's like, technically, in the grand scheme of things, she's a nobody. You know, but she has people up her ass about, you can't write this. You can't write that. You have to write it like this, or else you're a bad person. You have to consider this. And you know, the idea of people thinking that anybody's creative output is up for grabs is just absolutely insane to me. And the arguments that they put out to do that, to justify that behavior, I think is even more deranged. Because, you know, like, first they go, oh, everything has to be realistic. Everything has to be historically accurate. Everything has to be inclusive. Everything has to be this. Everything has to be that. It can't be problematic. It can't be, all this other stuff. Which makes me wonder what the fuck they enjoy. Because from what they keep describing, I don't know. Oh, am I dropping frames?
Yeah, but your audio is staying on point.
Okay, so all right, so as long as my audio is fine,
and it looks like you're clearing up.
Okay, so yes, because I'm seeing my thing kind of act up over here. I thought it was just the laptop, but as long as you're hearing me, then we're fine. So yeah, so I don't know what kind of media they're watching, because I don't know what they're enjoying, to tell you the truth. So it's like, so for them to come to a creator, to an independent creator with a list of demands, saying that, and here's some of the arguments, that it's like, if you portray anything negative in your media, in what you're creating, that only encourages that in real life. It's like, if you show a character being a villain, oh, you're only normalizing that behavior. They like to use a lot of these pseudo academic words that really were created for an academic setting and were not meant to be used for individual people. They're just for generic statistical analysis. Things like problematic, things like representative, things like, you all know the words. You all know the words that make you grind your teeth, right? So they, so they're bringing, it's like, because someone, if you portray this in your book, that normalizes that behavior, and people will reflect that, in real life. And I go, wow, are we going back to the 80s? Are we going back to, Two Live Crew and Twisted Sister?
It is history repeating itself.
It's like, testifying in front of Congress, going, it's just fucking music.
We're gonna be like, it's just comic books. Drawn lives don't matter.
Right, drawn lives don't matter. Are we going back to Grand Theft Auto? It's like, did crime actually begin existing at Grand Theft when Grand Theft Auto was created? I mean, are we really going back to these arguments that it's like, you have to cater your product to the most chicken cutlet brained member of your audience? Really? And honestly, it's like, that's not my audience. If you're that stupid that you think that reading a crime novel is normalizing crime, I can't help you.
Let me tell you,
and you are
true. I'd have bodies in the basement, Daphne.
I know. Me too.
I'm all about, it's all serial killers and venomous reptiles at night.
Right. Why not both? I mean, yeah. I mean, for real.
Writing that one down. All right.
Right. It's all the serial killers and venomous reptiles. Is that going to be our tagline? We're all about serial killers and venomous reptiles.
Gave me a good idea for a serial killer.
Right. Oh, there you go. And by the way, I think if you listen to enough, but there was a guy in India who actually did that. He was using venomous snakes to kill people. But that's neither here nor there.
Brilliant.
It's brilliant, right? Exactly. So it's like, and then it's like, everything has to be nerfed. Everything has to be safe. Yeah, I know. For real. You know what Rome's problem was? Caligula's hentai collection. That's what was Rome's problem, really. That's what did it. and right, exactly. People want to be catered to without taking any sense of responsibility for their actions. And that's literally what it is. They're coming to creators going, I'm an irresponsible shit and I'm going to make it your problem. And I think that we collectively as a creative group have to throw that back and say, fuck you. I'm writing the book that I want. I'm writing the comic that I want. I'm writing whatever it is I want to, and you have nothing to do with it. And and it's like, really, it's like we're going through satanic panic again. We're going through Dungeons and Dragons.
Yes, Maces and Monsters.
Yeah, I know. Remember that shitty Tom Hanks movie?
Look, I love that shitty movie.
Yeah,
okay?
I know. I relate.
I so relate.
Really.
Like I watched it like 4 times.
There was an article that someone had retweeted where they said like the latest iteration of Frankenstein uses science that has been debunked already. And I'm like, and it's like, I'm going, did someone actually get paid to say that? I mean, somebody, an actual reviewer, got paid to say something as absolutely stupid as the science in Frankenstein has been debunked. It's like, no fucking shit. Really? You mean I can't reanimate the dead with other people's body parts? For real? We did. That was deep. Oh, I need to read the science on that. I need to do my own independent research. That's ridiculous. I mean, this is what I'm saying. It's like this thought process is literally poisoning. People's thought patterns. How can you read Frankenstein going, oh, that's not realistic. You can't raise the dead. It's like, are you stupid? Because just admit that you're stupid, because then it's like we don't have to have a conversation beyond this, And it's like I kind of it's like and it goes, and it's like it extends to like all these other things too. Like the other day, there was a person who said that they hated The Last Duel, which is a brilliant movie, by the way, because the costumes were historically inaccurate. And it's like, fuck you. You were that distracted that the story wasn't compelling to you, that it's like it had Ben Affleck in it in his most brilliant, I swear, but but this color really didn't come into fashion until like 20 years later. And it's like, and it really took me out. It's like, you know what? Fuck off. Go. You know what? Go outside and not enjoy things. Matt Damon, Ben Affleck at their most brilliant, but you're uptight about the shoes that they're wearing. I mean, what is that? And mind you, and I think that that's all related to. That's all. It's like, it's like, it's like, oh, things, it has to be, it's me. It has to be for me specifically. If you're not creating for me specifically, you're problematic. You're a bad person. You're a bad creator. And it's like, no, you are a shitty person. You are insufferable and definitely not fun at parties. It's like, I do not create my work to cater to the most ridiculous people. I write my stuff for me the way I want it. If I want to imagine Bardcore Eminem in the soundtrack of my comics, That is goddamn happening.
We need some lose yourself in there.
No, absolutely. Absolutely. Everyone's in a tavern. They're having a good time. They got medieval Eminem in the background. Freestyling. Medievally.
Fuck me, man. Fuck me.
You know, it's either that or I get Olivia Newton-John. There is no in between. I'm getting Bardcore Britney Spears on the Eagle Raven soundtrack, and you can't stop me.
Oh my god. She walks in on really and it's like playing Toxic.
You know, yeah, no, for real. For real.
Oh shit.
Okay, let's see. Let me gather my thoughts and let's see if we can get that Sam bump to work.
Okay, I'm on it.
Right.
I'm on it. Hold on. Oh crap, I gotta go and plan.
Oh no.
Okay, first some of this.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. All right.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah.
It's Monty Moore. I'm a 30-year comics veteran in comics, games, and movies, and you've been watching one of my absolute favorite podcasts, Catch the Craze.
You are watching Catch the Craze.
What am I listening to?
And you're listening to Catch the Craze.
Where are all the indies at?
A Catch the Craze podcast. What are you watching?
I'm watching Catch the Craze.
What are you going to do?
Subscribe now to Catch the Craze, the #1 show online for independent.
Have you subscribed to?
You are an independent. Catch the craze. Making moves on your own. Catch the craze. On your grind in the streets. Catch the craze. Join the movement. Catch the craze.
Discharged into space, changing the life of one hapless duck and transforming him into a hero called Wonder Duck.
And we are back.
Yeah. So at least the bumps work this time. So you know, at its lighter note, it's people coming to me at conventions looking at Tall Tales going, is this historically accurate?
Oh my gosh.
It's like, bro, it has talking animals in it. What are you talking about? It's like, it's like, and I really did have people do that. You know, it's like, just like they would ask that, or they ask, how did the animal characters evolve on your, oh no, absolutely. That's what we're running with. I mean, it's like they wanted evolutionary charts for how the animals evolved. It's like I made
straight up 8 Mile.
Right. Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, no, I am serious. Look up Bardcore, BARD core on YouTube. And yeah, this was a thing. I guess like in the early aughts or something, where people
I like Bardcore. I've got a whole bunch of it uploaded.
Oh, it's like people would do medieval covers of modern songs, and I'm like, this is it. If I ever had to put together a soundtrack, this is what it is. And that's the thing too, because I think one of the freeing things that allowed me to get as much work as I have been able to in these last 2 years is coming to the conclusion that I have permission to not be token.
There you go.
And that it's my fantasy setting can pretty much have whatever I want in it. Realism isn't about being realistic to the world that you're in, that being realistic to your reality, like literally outside right now, like me right here. You know, realism in fantasy, realism in science fiction, realism in comics and anything is the rules of your world make sense in the context of your world. And this is like a huge pet peeve of mine, you know, because then you have the freaking assholes that come out that go, oh, well, you know, but the thing is, though, is that it's a person that's actually making up those rules. It's the author. So then it's like, again, fuck off. You know, it's like, you pedantic asshole. You know, it's like, yes, it's an author making decisions in the end.
Right.
You know, and this goes for everything. This goes for everything, because like I said, the more I see these arguments, the more I become like a First Amendment absolutist.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it's like there was, you know, so it's like, look,
I might not like what you have to say, but I'll defend your right to fucking say it.
Right. You know, and, and it's like, it's, you know, it goes like, you know, because it's like, are there criticism for things? Yes. You know, it's like everything has a criticism. But in the end, criticism is just, it's not a rule. It's just somebody, you know, just somebody yapping, you know, you can take it or leave it. But what happened is that people take things like, I don't know, like the Bechdel test, which the original cartoonist just did a cartoon just making that observation. And for some bizarre reason, people ran with it as a rule, an actual rule everybody had to follow, as opposed to being an observation about something. And if you don't know what the Bechdel test is, it's like it's the you know, two women talking, but they're not, you know, and are they two women talking, but they're not talking about another man, something like that. And you know, it was just an observation, and people took it literally. And now it's like, oh, your book doesn't meet the Bechdel test. It's like, who cares? So? That's the okay. So. And? You know, I mean, it's like what's funny is like as I work on Ego Raven, what I find is it's the anti-Bechdel test. There is no two guys that get together that don't talk about anything else other than another woman. So there you go. Fight me. You know.
Uh-oh.
So right, exactly. It's like, and you see, and I kind of wonder how much of that is that too. You know, like, oh, like the whole thing. Women in fridges. We all know that, right? We all know, especially in comics, we all know that trope. You know, when you hear about, oh, this is a woman that got fridged, which means that, oh, that she got this character got killed so that the male main character could have their story arc. You know, and it's like someone had, I think it was like Gail Simone or something, I don't know, whatever. You know, she had made I don't know if she she coined the phrase, hey there.
Hey.
Or whatnot. But again, that was another thing. Although knowing her, I think that probably her observation was more disingenuous anyway. So I'm not going to completely credit her as saying she was just making an observation. But the thing is, though, it is an observation. Do a lot of women get killed off in comics for the sake of a male character story arc? Yeah, okay. Sure. That happens just a lot.
Parents in Disney movies.
Right, exactly. You know, it's like, you know, yeah, okay. But the thing is, though, again, it's not a hard, fast rule. It doesn't mean that, oh, you're not allowed to kill off women in your stories. You're not allowed to kill off gays in your stories. You're not, you know, the whole joke about in any movie, if there's a black guy in it, he's the first one to get killed off.
Right.
You know, I mean, it's like, the point is, it's like, it's supposed to be an observation. Just like strong female character. That was a marketing term. that people
strong
took it.
female character, and all they did, they took something that could have been a beautiful description and turned it into equals toxic male vagina.
Right. Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's like, yeah. So it just became like a hard fast, that people turn it into a hard fast rule. Right. You have to have, it's like, it has to be this, it has to be that. It's like, no, these are observations. They could be prompts. I mean, it's like, but there is no, if you're a creator, there are no rules for you to follow except the rules that you establish in your, in your universe. I mean, it's like another common one. It's like, oh, why does he have to have big titties all the time? it's like, because it's not you. Fuck off.
Titties are nice.
Right, because
we like
it's
the titties.
Right, it's like, you know, it's like in the end, it's like, who cares? It's like,
Right.
yeah, did that used to annoy me a lot, that trope? Yeah, but you know what? It's like, look, we're all adults here. We all know what we're doing. It's like, if I don't like something, I don't support it. It's that simple.
Don't buy it.
You know, don't buy it. I have plenty of
don't
artists.
look at it. Fuck, look away.
Yeah, it's like, I have plenty of artists I don't like and I don't support. And it's like, and there's no real reason for me to pull out a list going, these people suck. You know, it's like, it doesn't do anything. If you don't like something, you don't support it. It's that easy. If you like here's a thought. Here's an idea. You know, here's an idea. If you like something, how about going to support that instead? You know, I mean, that's the thing. It's like, how, you know, how does you know, go do that. If someone is creating something you like, go support that. But you see, but that's the thing with these people, because they are disingenuous with their arguments when they're coming to you going, oh, well, you don't have this in it, you don't have that in it, is that they're demanding that you cater to them with them not having the responsibility of supporting you.
Right. That's what gets me. It's always somebody who in the end wouldn't support you anyway, wants to tell you how to write your shit. My mom wants to bitch that I'm writing porn. My mom's not buying my porn.
Yeah, exactly. You know, I mean, that's the thing. You know, it's like, so I think that we really do need to push back against these people who say you can't write fantasy like that. It's like, I'm writing fantasy however I want.
It's my fantasy, motherfucker.
Right, exactly. It's like, if you want to get all stick up your ass about the fact that potatoes didn't exist in 12th century Europe, that's a you problem.
Right.
Right. I'm not writing my comics for people who are living in the 12th century. Okay. I'm writing my book to entertain me right now, making the references that I understand. And as long as it makes sense in my story, that's what it's going to be.
What fucking difference does it make?
Right, exactly. Oh, this, you know.
What if they have box cake mix in a medieval kitchen? Fuck
right,
you.
Exactly. You know, it's
the chicken
like,
still laid the eggs.
Right. Yeah. You know, it's like there's going to be variation. It's like I was on an interview and I had mentioned the whole Swedish fish thing, that I have a talking fox character that's addicted to Swedish fish and coffee. Yes, you don't have to tell me that Swedish fish and coffee did not exist in the 12th century. Well, guess what? Neither did talking foxes. So I think I have, you know, I think I kind of have that taken care of. You know, and yeah, exactly. And the interviewer had said, it's like, well, the thing is, though, is that, well, if Swedish fish exists in your world, then that implies the existence of a Sweden. And I go, yeah, why not? Yeah, what the fuck? Why not? And I'm taking all their gods too. You know? But you know, I mean, right. It's like
sorry, Patrick.
You know, and it's like, look, and this, and mind you, it's like this. I'm talking about my stuff. I'm talking about the hoopla that there was an anime called Goblin Slayer or something.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Right. And there was like, okay, so the whole kerfuffle happened because Crunchyroll, it was a hentai, it was a hentai series that Crunchyroll had forgotten to mark as a hentai series, and the shit looks, and people were clicking on it thinking that it was just like a regular, oh, it's it's just like fantasy
But then
stuff,
all of a sudden,
no, everyone, great for everybody. It's like, yeah, no, it wasn't a good look. But the thing is, though, is that all of a sudden people kind of like got distracted from the idea that Crunchyroll had mislabeled an adult content anime. That was the point of that. They made the mistake of mislabeling it. But instead, everybody, all the arguments that I saw about that series was, why does it exist? And it's like, because somebody made it. Because I'm a grown-ass adult and I know what hentai is. I know what to expect from it. And the only mistake that happened was that Crunchyroll mislabeled it. Not that Goblin Slayer existed at all. And then there was this whole thing about, they were dissecting the story and this, that, and the other thing, and that the goblins, going on rape rampages. And it's like, look, it's like, oh, that the author was, it was disgusting because he made that part. It's like, again, the rules of the media is where it has to make sense. The fact that it doesn't make sense in your real world because goblins don't exist.
That's a you problem.
Yeah, exactly. That's a you problem. So it's like, if he wants to have that, the only way goblins can reproduce in his world is by, yes, exactly. Hashtag. That
you get a rape. You get a rape.
And small American flags for others.
Oh, we're going to hell.
Yeah. Well, hey, all our friends are there. So my point is that that's the reality that the author of this manga of the made for his thing. If you want, it's like Berserk. If you want messed up things to be part of the rules of your fantasy, go right ahead. It's a fantasy. Drawn lines don't matter.
No.
These are not real people you're affecting. And honestly, it's like, oh my God. It's like, so join. Come on over. If you're watching this, come join our problematic chat right now. We're sexy and problematic. That's because this is how we start our fucking Mondays when we don't have to guess.
We're still on Facebook.
I have to ad-lib this shit.
This is beautiful. You're a sexy beast, Daphne.
Jesus Christ. Moral of the story. Don't listen to people with chicken cutlet between their ears. Don't do that. Because it's like, these people really do need to be pushed back into whatever unhappy corners they're crawling out of. And they need to leave the rest of us alone. You want to do whatever you want in your comics. Do whatever you want in your books. Do whatever you want. It's like, people should not be coming at you, or they have no right to come at you because, oh, I don't like this and you have to change it. I don't have to do shit for you. Really, it's like, I don't have to do a goddamn thing. If you don't like my book, you don't support it. You don't. There's a moral somewhere.
Mind your fucking business.
Right? There's a moral. You got to dig for it a little bit. You know, and the thing is, and if you're the type that thinks that what happens in fantasy translates into reality, what you need is therapy.
Jeez.
You need medication, because not being able to differentiate between reality and fantasy is a sign of schizophrenia.
Huh.
Okay? It's a symptom. So it's like, if you are that concerned that the fantasy that I create will somehow become reality, you need to see a doctor, not read comics.
Oh my gosh.
You know, I mean, it's like, look, that is like the most, because it's like, according to their logic, the most absolutely dangerous people that could exist right now is comic book artists. With the amount of dangerous shit that we seem to, to advocate in our books, we cannot be trusted in the.
No, you're worse than video games.
I know. It's like, you would think that we probably do have a basement full of bodies, but guess what?
Hey,
we don't. Mike Diana never hurt anybody, but he was prosecuted for his artwork. He never hurt anybody. And it's fucking Florida. And it's like, you know what? It's like, guys, there are plenty of people you guys should have been going after, rather than some shitty cartoonist who just wants to be a little edgelord in his corner. It's like, it's like, look, no disrespect to, no disrespect to Mike Diana. I really do feel for what happened to him, but it's like the fact. Yeah, I have to make a start of that.
Oh, yeah, we so need a counter.
Yeah. It's like the fact that he was prosecuted successfully.
Right.
He was literally court ordered to not draw. He had to move to New York. And the only reason that didn't follow him, because the district attorney laughed at Florida. Going, oh, Florida, you think that we have time to do that, to monitor a cartoonist? Fuck off. Go be Florida. We're New York. We got better things to do. So yeah. So it's like, yeah. It's like, you know what? Look, it's like, last I checked, there hasn't been one cartoonist that really had bodies in their basement. It's like.
There was the one.
Well, okay. we'll let one. just the one.
That's a really interesting serial killer documentary, by the way.
But statistically, the odds really are in our favor that we are not serial killers.
Right. There was just the one. Just the one.
And it's like, look, and it's like, and just because we're imagining something or not imagining something doesn't mean that we're kind of like wishing it into existence. It's like, it's like, really, it's like, what witchcraft do you think that we're, that we're performing here? That everything we put on paper, that everything we write in a book somehow becomes real because you can't tell the difference? I mean, it's that's absolutely ridiculous. I mean, it's like, look, it's like, you know what? I think it's actually a good thing that I can't wish my artwork into existence. One, my house isn't big enough.
Oh, instead of a death note, Daphne would start doing death sketches.
Right? Yeah, for real. Like they really think that that's a real thing. Although I have a little anecdote about Death Note, though. So me and my sister were talking. She was going through something, and she mentioned, and she has one of those novelty journals that has that's the Death Note. It's the book. And she was talking about, and she was going through a moment, and she goes, it's like I wrote his name on the first page of the Death Note. And I go, what the fuck are you doing? You can't do that. And then I go, oh, wait, shit, Death Note's not real. Wait, I literally had to stop myself. Death Note's not real. It's just a fucking notebook. But that's the thing. It's like, yes, can we get wrapped up into, right. Can we get wrapped up in our fantasy world? Absolutely. It's like, I'm sorry. It's like, look, it's like I said, I'm watching this on a laptop, and the screen is like this big. Uh-oh. So I can't even, I can't read so if I missed your joke, I'm sorry, Odin. Although did you at least catch my Caligula joke and his hentai collection? Because I know you'd appreciate that one. But yeah, it's like I find it amazing that so many people online really do think that we can alter reality like that. Sure. Just with our artwork, just with our comic books, just with our novels. Like I said, it's like I don't need. It's like when my house isn't big enough for all my characters. And it's like, really, it's like, do I really want to try to work, while there's like a fucking 7-foot tall, constantly horny god walking around in his underwear in my house? Okay, maybe I do need that. But no, but that's not the point though. No, it's like, we don't need that. We don't do that. That's not how creativity works.
Oh my God.
So, moral of the story as we reach the top of the hour, because unfortunately time is real when it's not.
He has no choice.
It's like, it's just, I just, it's like, like I said, it's the Utes, Nita. It's the Utes. I don't understand where they're getting this from. And
because they don't want to blame themselves. They don't want to blame the education system. They don't want to blame the freaking lack of intervention that's provided for these kids. And so it's just easier to blame whatever they're finding entertaining.
And then it's like, it's not even that. People don't want to take responsibility for their emotional states.
Yeah.
If I draw something that upsets you,
don't look at it.
That's your reaction to my artwork is not my problem.
No, your emotions are valid, but go cry in the fucking corner by yourself.
Right. It's like, if you're feeling a certain way because of artwork that I did, yourself. It's like, that's on you. It's like that your emotional response has outside of what I intend is that's not my problem. Get a hold of your emotional states. Get a hold of the way you react to things. And like I said, it's like way too many people go on Twitter expecting everybody to be a therapist when they themselves should be in therapy. Twitter is not therapy. So that's the thing. So if anybody comes at you, for what you do, ignore them. You really do need, because they need to be ignored. Because because it's bad enough we have corporations encouraging this behavior and thinking that they can like milk this behavior for more consumer kudos or whatever. Because these same people are turning on us. Because they're expecting us to act the same way as giant corporations, that can't, like I said, can't pay for this type of attention, but we're the ones suffering from it. So, you know me, Nita, I can go on and on.
Oh, they're encouraging you.
But but we got things to do. I have a printer. I got to go fist fight right now. So,
Ooh.
yeah,
really
exactly. And well, it's not that bad. It's like we're just going back and forth on a cover layout, and it's like I trust my file to print correctly, but they keep wording their answers to me in a way that makes me wonder if they can print it correctly. So I got to clear that up. So on that note, welcome. Thank you everybody in the chat watching us right now. Thank you for joining us for this hot mess of a Monday. And I know it's Monday because I got my post-it. I got my post-it note right here telling me that it's Monday. So thank you for joining us on this another hot mess of a show. And there we go. Yeah, maybe I do need a Snickers. Maybe that's what it is, Nita.
I got you one.
Right. Okay. There we go. So thank you again for joining us. Again, it's like, you guys know the role. Go to egoworks.com. That's where all my stuff's at. Go to Ragin 2. That's where all,
it's all over there.
You know where it is. But as always, eat your food, moisturize, mind your business, and do the work, because as long as you do the work, you never have to fake your accomplishments. And one last thing, the truth never needs a video. So there you go. So on that note, we're out of here. See you Friday.
Hit the button.
Wait.